Mike's Full Throttle Garage, brought to you by Low Country Harley-Davidson. News Radio 94.3, WSC.
Welcome back to Mike's Full Throttle Garage, where we're talking about the run for the wall. You know why, but now it's time to get into the stories of it. Alan, you've got to be full of stories. I mean, you were on the road 21, 23 days and 10 days with your brothers, starting from California to the wall. Share. What is in your head? What are some of the things?
Well, after listening to James talk, I'm already kind of, my voice is going to wobble a little bit. But I can tell you personally, motorcycles have always been a part of my recovery from Vietnam.
Okay.
As soon as I got home, I rode bike before I went in the service, and so I had one when I came back. I jumped on it. It was a chopper, of course. Mm-hmm. Jumped on it with two other guys, and we took off across country with everything we owned, rolled up in our sleeping bags on our sissy bars, and spent 3 months on the road. That was my first time basically talking to non-military personnel in over 2 years, 2 months, and 1 day, and talking to round-eyed women for that period of time. Yeah. So it was a recovery process for me. So the run for the wall is just a kind of a continuation of that. I got to tell you, this year was awesome. We had over 40% on each run, each route, 40% FNGs. That stands for fine new gals or fine new girls. It doesn't stand for the same thing it stood for when we were in the military.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah. So, but we call them FNGs, and they get a button and everything else for that year. This year, I was able to actually spend more time with them and working with them and helping them get across country because they're going through so much. And trust me, I know what they go through.
Yeah.
And even though I'm still going through it,
right.
I was able to give some of that back to them. Just awesome ride. I mean, God, I just invite anybody, anyone at all that has any reason to be on a motorcycle, that knows anyone that was in the military. And you don't have to be in the military. You don't have to be a Vietnam vet. We have this year on the Southern route, we had a female route coordinator who was a Gulf War, Army, of course.
All right.
And,
of course.
if you're going to be tough, you got to be Army tough.
Oh, boy. There goes all my Marines on the Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's how this thing is progressing. Like James was talking about how it, when it first started off, kind of a ragtag group going across. It is so structured now. We are in military platoon formation. Okay, we had the headquarters squad up ahead of us, headquarters battery or company. We have... each platoon broken up. We have the missing man formation that rides the front. There's anywhere from 30 to 60 motorcycles in each platoon, which consists of a platoon leader and assistant platoon leader that ride up front, and then 1 to 2 tail gunners, which I had the privilege to do this year, riding in the back, kind of overseeing people. And, I'll give you an example of some of the stuff that goes on. I took that tail gunner's job because I thought it was going to be a cush job right in the back of the platoon. Second platoon, we ride side by side. And so I had to wear a headset this year. And I got a call from up above that somebody's luggage was coming off of their bike. Mm-hmm. And they needed for me to extract them. So you pull out, the other tail gunner covered me, blocked traffic in the other lane. I pulled out, was able to extract this guy, and get him out back, drop him back behind the second platoon, pull him over into the shoulder. But it wasn't just his gear that was coming off. It was actually, he was bringing this little dog, across the country, and the dog's cage was about to fall off of the motorcycle. So it's kind of like we were all heroes after that. We saved Brutus.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Team mascot. Here we go.
But to see the guys, and be with the brothers you already knew from years before, and then meeting new brothers, which you do every year. It's just the most awesome experience. I mean, I'm kind of upset because I have to wait 49 more weeks to do this again. And I got to D.C. depressed.
Really? Because you knew it was coming to an end.
It was coming to an end. And it was kind of like, and James, we got to fix this, because it's kind of like coming home from Vietnam. You're with your brothers, you're with your comrades, you're with people that you knew had your back, that you had theirs, that you were committed to, okay? Then all of a sudden, that Sunday morning, everybody just splits off and goes a different way, And it's, it's just kind of like, wow, I'm out here all by myself again. And
I don't think you're ever by yourself, Alan. You've got too many brothers throughout this whole country. And it makes sense, all this military coordination of platoons and headquarters and riding and extracting. It's almost like watching a documentary. Tell me about a fuel stop. You've got 600 riders coming into Safeway to get fuel, and you get them in and out in what, 20 minutes?
20 minutes.
How
max.
do you do that? Nobody gets in and out of a gas station that fast.
The structure is amazing. Sometimes you want to fight the structure, but then you appreciate it. We have an advanced team.
Okay.
They ride ahead of the pack. They sweep the gas station lots. Make sure there's no debris there, nothing that's going to cause the motorcycle to go down. They get the pumps. They man the pumps. They have flaggers out there that flag you into the pumps. And as you're coming off the interstate, I mean, you really don't stop. You're pretty much moving the whole time. You may be at a crawl, but you're moving. And
did you get this idea at NASCAR? I mean,
I don't know.
In and out as fast as you can.
You put enough military guys together, you're going to figure out a way to get things done easier. I can guarantee you.
I bet everybody's smiling when they get done with a gas stop because it's just a miracle that it works.
Yeah.
I have to tell you the fun part, though, and because I don't ride in the pack anymore. I ride ahead of the pack and get to the service station and watch this. It's really kind of an interesting phenomenon because, remember, most of these guys, or many of the guys and gals, have partners riding with them. And a lot of the gals have figured out by the second or third day that if their husband, boyfriend can get the gas, they can run for that bathroom. And it's a sight to see, NASCAR style, to see so many partners running to get in line. And by the time the male is around, usually the guy, and gets into position, the gal is back, he can now run in and get his thing done. Because some stops are less than a half hour, 45 minutes, and you're gone again.
Well, you pull out and you stage right away when you get through doing it. My wife stays with me on the bike, as it should be. She started
okay.
And I am not. I want to publicly apologize for calling her a princess last time I was on this show because I paid dearly for that.
Okay.
She is the queen.
She is.
But she actually pays the money and has it all ready right there. So, yeah. But pulling up to a gas stop and then we restage that advanced team. They also have a staging crew. They're out there with signs and pickets to say which platoon you're in. And you line up in that platoon again. So everything, you fall right back into place again, just like you never left formation. It's awesome.
Alan, I wish we had hours to talk about all the stories. And there are websites that people can go on.
RFTW.org.
Okay, say that again.
RFTW.org.
Please go visit that. There are forums, there is information, and this is all to educate future generations on the importance of accountability in wartime action. And it's been a pleasure to have you guys back. And 49 days, when you start this again, we want you right back here to tell us that it's time to go have fun again. And we want to hear the reports because this is awesome, guys.
Yeah. Start saving your nickels and dimes, guys, and come with us next year.
Thanks for coming on board.